Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the Daily English Show. Today's guest is Liam. He's from Brisbane in Australia and he now lives here in Niseko. I met him for the first time last week. He runs a really nice lodge up in the ski village and we went there to do the interview. Liam said he's been living in Japan for the past 6 years, but he first came to Japan 11 years ago and he lived in a small town in Niigata called Kamoshi, and he lived there with a Japanese family for 10 months. I asked him what he was doing then.
I was on student exchange and I was studying Japanese at high school, and I guess the reason I started studying Japanese was at my school we had a choice of languages that we had to study, and I surfed down the Gold Coast a lot, and there were always a lot of Japanese surfers in the water, and they were always so polite and friendly, and so Japanese was just the natural choice for me to choose.
Kia ora, this is Dick News. Yesterday, a clock in London celebrated its 150th birthday. Big Ben is a famous clock that lives in London. Wikipedia says Ben is the world's largest four-faced chiming clock and the third largest freestanding clock tower in the world. He started ticking on the 31st of May 1959 and yesterday turned 150. And that was Stick News for Monday the 1st of June. Kia ora. How was your Japanese when you first got here? I guess it improved a lot during the 10 months. What do you think helped your Japanese the most? Why did you decide to come back to Japan later on? What do you do now? Has the current economic downturn affected your business here in Niseko? Has Niseko changed much during the time that you've been living here? Have you ever taught English in Japan? Do you enjoy teaching? What do you enjoy about it? How did you get into the web designing stuff? Did you study it at university? Do you have any advice for people who are learning English?
I wasn't the best student, and no, my Japanese was pretty poor when I first came here despite studying it at high school. I'd say within 3 weeks of being in Japan, I'd learnt more Japanese than I had in all of my high school years. No fault at all to my teachers, it was all me. Definitely, yeah. I was quite fluent by the end of those 10 months, probably better than I am now. I think actually it was joining Bukatsu, joining a club, and making good friends that I hung out with and spent a lot of time with, who were all obviously Japanese. No one spoke any English, so it was pure immersion. Yeah, by far and away that was, living Japanese was the best thing for it. Yeah, that's a good question because I hated it. A lot about Japan after my experience with that family. But at the end of my trip I got to come to Furano on a skiing holiday, and I stayed at a pension called Yamano Doksan, and the pension owner there, the master, was an amazingly charismatic guy, and he said that I should come back and work for him. So for the next 2 seasons after that I came back every winter and worked in his curry shop and pension as a lackey. Now I'm the owner of Pension Captain, Captain Bed and Breakfast. And then in my spare time, I guess I'm a web entrepreneur. So we make websites for other people, and then we have our own projects that we work on. It hasn't affected the pension business here at all yet, because we're a very, very small place, so we can only take 16 people at the most, and every year up until this year we've always had way more inquiries than we could possibly fill. So we've noticed less inquiries, but we're still full in winter anyway. Yeah. This year might be different, we'll see. Yeah, definitely. Although I think there are a couple of years there where it went a bit crazy, and a lot of people came in with an eye to making money, as an opportunity to make money. And before that, I think that Niseko was very much a community, and it was all about the skiing and about the slow lifestyle, I think they call it in Japanese. I've got a feeling it's heading back that way again. I have. I taught English in a small fishing village called Shiriuchi, which is the hometown of Kitajima Saburo, and is about an hour's drive south of Hakodate, halfway between Hakodate and Matsumaya. It's a very beautiful little town. I love teaching, yeah. Oh, so much. I really like it when, obviously I think most teachers are like this, but I really like it when someone gets a concept and it's the way you've explained it or the way that you've taught it that's reached them. I think that's really rewarding. No, not at all. I wanted to make a website for the pension here, and I looked around at a few different places that could help me build it, and I eventually ran into a guy called Nathan Creamer, who was working across the road there for No Ask, and he said he'd do it for cheap, and he did, and we became good friends, and so I've been working with him ever since and just learning as I go along. Yeah, don't ever worry about making mistakes. Yeah. Always give it a go. Use it as much as possible.
True or false? Liam stayed in Japan for 3 weeks on a student exchange. False. He came back to Japan to work as a jockey. False. Liam now owns a business in Niseko. True. He used to teach English in a small village. True. He studied web design at university. False. And that was the Daily English Show. See you tomorrow. Bye.